Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dk1original coming at you from the exact same location. So today I'm doing part 2 of dating. Married and divorced in your 20s. So last week I spoke a little bit about dating and all things I learned and whatever. This week I want to focus on what I messed up during my dating season. Like I said last week, it's very important to understand that when you are dating, your dating season is very important to make sure that you pay attention to the things that are happening between you and your partner or you and your person. Make sure that you identify things that don't work. Make sure you identify things that don't gel well with either you or with him or whatever the case is. Make sure that you use the season wisely. Like I said, it is better to walk away from a relationship than it is to walk away from a marriage. Trust me, the complications of ending a marriage are hell. So make sure that you get your dating season right. Okay, so I wrote them down because I wanted to make sure that I don't forget anything. But I just wrote down the things that I messed up during dating season. Make sure that you have your own thing and that you can look into it and that it's important to know what you want in a relationship before you get into a relationship. It's important to know the things that you will stand for, the things that you will not stand for in a relationship. And it's important to also understand that when you say that you will stand for something and you will not stand for something, how serious are you when you say that? Okay? Alright, so I'm going to start with the first one. The first thing that I did was I over-romanticized my relationship. Alright, and I still have a tendency to do that even now, where I over-romanticize things, where I make things bigger than what they are. Like, the person will do the smallest little gesture, which is in any case bare minimum, and I will blow it up in my head and I will make it seem like, oh, my Superman, my superhero, my everything. And just in general, because I don't know why I do that, but in my head, I build this thing. It's important to be realistic. It's important to be realistic when you are dating somebody. It's important to see the things that they do for what it is they do. If somebody is not communicating to you, it is what it is. It's communication. First of all, you must understand, communication it's one of the easiest things to do. We overcomplicate it. Alright? And in the places where we don't overcomplicate it, there's a trauma attached to it, or there's a fear attached to it, which is also possibly from a trauma. So you need to identify those little things, For example, I tend to struggle to ask for things, or rather, how can I put it? I tend to struggle to, call out, I said I'm not gonna swear, to call out bullshit, because sometimes I'm like, what if I call this out and it ends? Right? And if there's one thing I learned in therapy is this: rather point it out and lose the person for pointing that thing out, because if you don't point it out, you'll never really know if this person is there for the long haul or not. So learn to communicate and learn to communicate your feelings, because your feelings are valid, your fears are valid, the things that are going on in your head are valid, they are real because they're happening to you. So make sure that you don't over romanticize things that you know that maybe are not happening. Make sure that you don't over romanticize, because here's a big one. Because the beginning was good, when it gets bad, we tend to no longer look at that and focus in the beginning, right? Let me tell you something. Nostalgia is a lie in the way that it chooses to camouflage things. Because you will look... Sorry about that, my phone definitely fell. But you will look back to the good old days and you will think that is how it's always been. No. It's important to look at everything the way it is right now as it's playing out. If something is not sitting well or something has changed, speak on it. Bring it to light, Sometimes maybe the person doesn't even realize that they're doing it, or they've stopped doing it in some instances. So make sure that you don't over-romanticize because you're choosing to remember how it started, or you're choosing to remember the pursuit. I did that for a long time, where I was focused on the beginning and I was always trying to get back to the beginning, when in matter of fact, the beginning was so long gone, it was no longer even visible in the rearview mirror. But we will sit. Let me not talk for other people. But I would sit and I would romanticize that time, and I would remember those times, and I would build on those times. Or if the person does, if he did one small little romantic thing, I would be like, oh, and I would hold on to it for months, because you are starved for the thing that you think you want. You know what I'm saying? So Make sure that you don't over romanticize the relationship. Make sure that as much as you need to enjoy it in the moment, I believe in that wholeheartedly. Enjoy your relationship where it's at, when it's happening. Be fully present. Enjoy it. But the minute that things switch up, do not try to go back to the beginning because you're thinking, it was once good, it can go back there. We are too young, guys. We are too young to be thinking like that. Why are we behaving like people that are stuck with people with kids? Why? Guys, don't do that, right? Like, even if you do have a kid with somebody, if it's not working out anymore, I strongly encourage choosing yourself. Because if you are not happy, even if when you have a child, your child is going to see that you are not happy. Your child is going to see that you are neglecting your own self. So when you are happy, when you are making sure that you're choosing yourself and you're looking after yourself, it's gonna roll out in the long end. So make sure and communicate that you will not stand for bullshit and actually do it. Like I said, game changer. When you're not afraid of being alone, it's very easy for you to do that. It's very easy for you to confront situations, because like, even if they walk away, they're walking away because they cannot stand for something that I'm not willing to neglect. Right? They're willing to walk away from something that I'm not willing to neglect, and you don't want to live that way anyway. You don't want to live with somebody that is gonna neglect something that is important to you in any case. So make sure that you communicate that and make sure that you walk accordingly. Alright? The second thing is I overlooked neglect. Hey, Jagama. Woo! I overlooked neglect. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. Alright. So first things first, birthdays are, for me personally, birthdays are very important. I'm a quality time type of person. And when you don't spend quality time with me, I kind of feel like you don't even like me, And I was willing to overlook that in a lot of places, and I would make excuses for it. Hey! I would make excuses. I would make up excuses for it as to, busy. Let me tell you one thing. Nobody is ever busy for the thing that has their hearts on fire. No, if somebody cares about you, they are gonna make time regardless of how busy they are. Do you understand me? Don't overlook neglect. And it's important for me to say this. The way that your relationship is in the dating phase is gonna be amplified when you are married. If somebody can overlook you and neglect you while you are dating, what makes you think that once you are married, it's gonna change? See, a lot of us have this thing in our heads where we think that marriage is like this magic thing that's going to fix up everything that's messed up in dating. No, it amplifies it. It brings it to light even more. Oh my goodness. See, when you're dating, there's still a lot of things that you hide under the rug. There's still a lot of things that you choose to, put out front or not. When you are married, you cannot do that because you're living with the person. You are now all in. You understand me? So don't overlook things that are important. And for me, I overlooked neglect in the dating phase. I overlooked things that are important to me, and I would overlook it because I try to come up with excuses as to why he can't do it or whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. Legit, don't do that to yourself. You understand me? Make sure that if something is important to you, you communicate it first of all, because nobody can read minds. Okay? You communicate it, and if it's not done again, you communicate, but make sure that you don't communicate so much that you are literally writing a book for somebody on how to treat you. You can communicate because you're a good communicator, or you're working on being good at communication. But at some place, if somebody does the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you need to understand that that person does not give a shit about your feelings, does not give a shit about the thing that matters to you. Because if you tell me something and I keep doing it over and over, it means I don't care. I'm not even listening. It's not going in. You understand me? So make sure that you don't overlook those things. Make sure that you pay attention, close attention to that. And neglect, guys, when you are dating, when you're choosing to put somebody in your life, and this is important, when you're choosing to have somebody in your life, it means that you enjoy spending time with them and you want them in your space, you want to share things with them, right? So if somebody's neglecting you during dating, who else? And I believe this wholeheartedly. If the attention is not coming to you, it's going to somebody else. Do you hear me? Especially if the attention was there in the beginning and all of a sudden it switches up and that person is no longer paying attention to you, it's going to somebody else or something else. But you need to confront that so that you know what you need to do with that. Alright? The third thing is The thing is, I tried to convince myself that I did not need the things that I in fact needed. Like I said, quality time, very important to me. I'm not a touchy person, but when I'm in a relationship, physical touch is very important to me. PDA is very important to me. Reassurance is very important to me. Making sure that we communicate on a regular basis. My friends always say I'm too much, but literally for me, if you can go a whole day without talking to me, therefore, no sir, no ways I can accept that. I literally don't know how. Honestly, some of you guys are just dating people that don't even like you. How are you gonna go a full day without talking to somebody? A full day. But I tried to convince myself that I didn't need things that I needed. If something is important to you, it is important to you. And the reason for that thing being important to you is valid for you. And you need to make sure that you don't give away things that you want or things that are important to you because you're trying to get this person to stick with you. Don't be afraid of losing people that will not give you what you need, especially when it comes into the department of love. If you are willing to overlook certain things, you are going to keep doing that and it's going to kill you inside. So make sure that you don't overlook certain things. Make sure that if it's important to you, it's important to you. If quality time is important to you, that is important. And like I said before, no one is ever that busy that they cannot spare a little bit of time. And if somebody is that busy and you are the kind of person that needs quality time, that person is not for you. Do you understand? There is somebody. So I'll give an example, like me and my best friend. We completely different. She is okay with not talking consistently with her person. Me, I need you here. I need you here. I need you talking to me all the time. Do you understand? And she's always like, you crazy, man. That's just too much. And I'm like, you know what? And that's okay. And that you know what I'm saying? There's people that are okay with that. So if that's important to you, make sure that you stick with that. And if it's not important to you, then okay, cool. Let the person be busy, whatever. No harm, no foul. But make sure that you are getting what you want in a relationship. But if you're not getting it, guys, it's not going to change marriage. If the person was busy while you were dating, they're going to be busy when you're married. They're going to be busy when you have kids. They're going to be busy. So make sure. Sure, guys, the amount of interruptions I have had trying to shoot this video. Hectic. But anyway, so like I was saying, so make sure that you don't compromise the things that are important to you. Make sure that you don't forget the things that matter to you, because they're not going to stop mattering magically. Like if something is important to you, it's gonna stay being important to you. And the last thing, and this is a big one, is caring too much about what people think or what people say about. No, actually, I was speaking on this. So the last one is make sure that you don't care too much about people's opinion when it comes to your relationship. Like for example, one of the reasons that took me so long to leave my marriage was because I cared way too much about what people thought. I cared way too much about what people were going to say. I cared entirely too much, even going into dating. Like, because already once I was in the relationship, so me and my ex-husband, we used to do ministry together. And I cared way too much about what people are going to say if we break things off. I shouldn't have. Because they were not living with the heartbreak, they were not living with the disappointment, they were not living under the constant disrespect of having other people enter the relationship. They were not living under that. I shouldn't have cared. I should have cared for my own heart and my mental health, and I didn't. So do not care about what people say, because at the end of the day, whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing, people are going to stay talking. So you need to make sure that you're good, boo. Make sure that you and your person are good. Before you even go discuss your problems, make sure that you and your person have talked about it first. Make sure that communication is first line basis first. Like, yo, bruh, I cannot emphasize this enough. Yes, it's important to have a support structure, but make sure that the opinion of other people coming into your relationship does not matter. It cannot. Because what difference is it gonna make? What difference is it gonna make, realistically speaking, to your relationship? So make sure that you let go of the opinions of others. Make sure that you let go of the fear of the opinion of other people, because at the end of the day, it's going to be you and that person that need to build a life together, or you and that person that need to enjoy each other's company, and going forward, it's going to be you and that person. Do not care what other people think, whether it's the type of person that you are attracted to, whether it's the kind of character they have, whatever. You need to be okay with it. You need to find them attractive. You need to enjoy their company. You need to enjoy if they dry, if whatever the case may be. It's your person. You must like them, because you're the one that's gonna have to spend time with them. You're the one that's spending, you know that. And there's something about when you're in a relationship with somebody that you know that person at a level that nobody else will know them. So you can't allow what other people may say or think to enter into that realm or have any type of impact on them. Alright? So if you feel like there's anything that I maybe have forgotten in this video, please write it down in the comment section below. Guys, I am interactive in the comment section. I reply to every single comment, like every single one. So make sure that you leave it down in the comment section below. And if there's anything else that you want me to cover, please make sure that you also put it down in the comment section below. But next week, I think I'll move on to the next into the next phase of this series. But that is where I wrap it up for you guys today. And if you have not yet followed me, please make sure that you follow me on all my socials, Dk1original across the board. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? All the socials, I'm there. Dk1original across the board. If you search me on something, Dk1original, it's gonna be standard procedure, one original. You feel me? So make sure that you follow me on all my socials. Make sure that you are subscribed if you have not yet done so. Make sure that you like this video, and if you didn't like it, actually dislike it, you know. But make sure that you're interactive, and make sure that you comment in the comment section down below, even if it's just to say I was here. All right, I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, I love you also very much.